Hello, I'm back with another video here. I feel compelled to make this video because of friends, family, co-workers. I'm seeing so many people reacting to life in a knee-jerk way, becoming upset and saying it's Monday morning, or becoming upset because situations are happening, labeling situations as problems. Situations are not problems, but they're being labeled as problems. Things are being labeled as good or bad, and it's changing the internal state and making people suffer. So I want to try and explain how we can get out of this added suffering, the psychological drama that you may be adding to your life. You don't have to have that. You can have joyfulness and kindness exuding from your soul on a daily basis, without ever having to knee-jerk react to things that are happening to you. So let me try and explain. There are stages, no one tells us this, but there are stages to your experiential existence. There are stages that we can pass through of your mind and then eventually out of the mind. There is a well-trodden path here. So let me explain some of these stages. You will probably identify with this first stage. We can call it association. The association as you live in the mind and not the awareness, the thing that you really are. If you're living in association through the mind, this is when thoughts are just happening to you. You're walking around the town centre. You're walking around where you live at your home, and thoughts are coming up. And they are just random associations, okay? So you might see a car, and then the mind brings up, I had that same car. That was my first car, and then there's thoughts connected to cars and driving, and what's happening there is there's input going in, and the mind is creating associated random thoughts based on what you see, but also based on absolutely nothing whatsoever. A thought will just come up, it will happen to you because you're allowing it to, okay? This thought will come up and it might be an uncomfortable thought, and then there will be associations with that thought. They will be associated with a person or a situation that you haven't liked. So I know people who work in offices, and the mood is so upset on a Monday morning through choice. You're choosing to be upset on a Monday morning and happier on a Friday. That happiness on a Friday you can have on the Monday morning. This is possible. So how do we get out of association? What's the next step from association? The next step from association, you will all have experienced this too. There is another phase, another way the mind can act, and we can call this reflection, or this is when we're reflecting on thoughts, or directed thought. So when you're writing a shopping list, or you're planning a trip, or you're planning a project, you are using the mind. The mind is a tool, don't forget, just like the body is a tool. These are tools that the awareness uses, they're not you. So we can use the mind as a tool, and it helps us to plan, it helps us to get things done. So instead of just being subject to thoughts happening, this is happening, oh, now I feel like this. Another thought's come up, oh, now I feel like this. So now we're directing our thoughts to get things done and to achieve things. This can be very useful, okay? We use our awareness, we decide of our own volition to direct the mind, okay? That is a second phase, okay? Beyond that, we have what we would call concentration, where we concentrate our attention, and we'll call it attention at this part of the journey through the mind. We are concentrating and paying attention on something, one directed attention. So I can pay attention to the sound of the wind as it moves the trees, and I can pay attention to this, and I can keep my attention there. If I don't practice this, when I try to do it, it will wander off a lot. This attention is the precursor to the meditative state. It's the only way to achieve the phase beyond this. This is how we jump out of mind. We've had these phases in the mind, and then we can jump out of them into meditative. We get there by paying attention on purpose, because we never pay attention. We're always priming when someone's talking, queuing up the next thing we're going to say. We're not good at listening. We're not good at paying attention. We're not taught how to do this. So you need to start paying attention during the day in order to jump out, and then the next stage beyond that is meditative. Okay? No thought, meditative. Meditative is where we are the awareness. We are aware of all of everything. There is a soft, calm, abiding, calm awareness of everything that is. Now, you can experience that while you're queuing up in the shops. A peaceful, serene calmness. The person in front of you and the person behind you will be in association. Maybe they'll be in reflection, contemplation. Okay? There's concerns, there's worries. That's their choice. No one told them that you can stand there in ultimate bliss. Empty head, no thoughts affecting you. This is the same, falling asleep. You don't have to lie there being battered by these thoughts. This is your choice. You are in association land. You can leave that land. And the vehicle and the mechanism underlying jumping out of that is concentration, paying attention. You must pay attention. So I'm going to give you a trick now. This is a trick that will, there are many, hundreds, maybe thousands of tricks that you can use that will jump you out of the mind and end your suffering, the suffering that you add to life. Okay. Here's the trick. This is an ancient tantric technology that we can use. During the day, when you're going about your life, you need to remind yourself to pay attention to your breathing, but not just your breathing. There are gaps between each of your breaths. As you breathe in, there is a gap before the in-breath becomes the out-breath. There is a pause. You must become aware, pay attention to this pause. As you breathe out, before the out-breath becomes the in-breath, there is a gap, slightly longer gap usually for most people. Okay, this gap, you must pay attention to this gap. Okay, so we're not just paying attention to our breathing like we're often taught how to do in mindfulness meditation techniques. We're paying attention to the in-breath becoming the out-breath, the transition, and the out-breath. We're not changing how we're breathing, but here's a gap. And I'm still with the breath. Even though there's no breath, I'm still with the breath because I can be aware of this gap, this nothingness. And then the breath, gap, I'm still with it. However long. And then the breath comes out and I'm aware of the breath and I'm aware of this gap. You can do this while you're queuing in the shops. You can do this while you're doing your shopping. You can do this when you're at work, when you're walking to work. You can do this sitting. This is a sitting meditation practice as much as it's anything else. And you might say, what if I'm driving? What if I'm busy? You can be aware of the breath and be more effective doing what you're doing. If I'm aware of the breath, then I'm embodying my attention and awareness. Of course, we know when the teachers shout at you at school, pay attention. Attention is the gateway to your mind. It's the gateway to your soul, your awareness. Without your attention, you are not living your life. Without being conscious, attention is just consciousness, which is that which you are. When you're unconscious, if you get knocked out, what happens? Nothing's happening. You can't interact with life. Well, if you're in association land and you're just being given thoughts, gifted thoughts from the mind, which is an accumulation of thoughts that you were given. Everyone has this accumulation of thoughts that you're given as you live through life. So everyone has a different one. So it isn't real. It isn't real in any way. It is an accumulation, just like your body is an accumulation of cells because we eat food. Your mind is an accumulation of thoughts. But those thoughts are not real. And they can be damaging and they will jump up at you no matter what you're doing. So now we have a technology, an attention, a concentration on the gaps between the breath. So this starts the moment we wake up. I'm aware of the breath. I am. You will find that you will be able to live in alignment with what you truly know to be true, what you truly understand. You won't be smashed by the things that happen to you, the situations. That won't happen anymore. You will be blissful and aware, okay? Challenging things will happen and you will be able to deal with them more effectively. Monday morning won't turn you into a knee-jerk reaction. This email, okay? You don't want to be unsettled and uncentered on the inside. We need to work on our internal state. It's the only way we will be able to act appropriately and with enough kindness, care and diligence in the external three-dimensional world. If you're subject to moods, I work with people who are, I'm in a bad mood. Well, this is your decision. This is your decision. Why are you in a bad mood? You can anyway just choose to be happy now. Pay attention to what's in front of you. Pay attention to what's here. It doesn't matter what's going on. This technique, the gaps between the breaths, will enhance your consciousness every day. You will become more aware, more conscious, more aware, more conscious each and every day, and you will fundamentally change. You will change your actions in alignment with kindness. You will feel joyful every day, regardless of what's going on. There is a lot of fear at the moment. The media is not helping. The government is not helping. They are perpetuating fear, not necessarily just facts, figures, and information for your benefit. A lot of it is unnecessary. They're adding to your thought accumulation, your accumulation of thoughts. There's more going in. This is from them, not you. You don't have to allow associative thoughts to bombard you all day, make you snappy, make you moody, make you act in a knee-jerk way. You've lost your free will. If you are operating in this way, there is no free will. You're not you. You are an accumulation of gifted thoughts. You are an indoctrinated being. Okay? So, straight spine, head up, noticing breath, noticing the breath going in, noticing the breath going out, wherever we are. Remember that we must do this practice all day. Soon it will become second nature and you will embody the awareness. This will end your suffering, no doubt. There will be no more added suffering. There will be no more moody Monday morning. There will be no more being unkind, okay? And when you experience unkindness, you will feel compassion towards that person, because then you will know, I have this technology, I have this thing that I do. This person doesn't have this. This person who's being unkind to me, rude, whatever it might be, or stressed, or depressed, all this stuff, they are being bombarded by the associative mind. They haven't found concentration, which is the precursor to meditation. To be meditative is to be fully conscious and present. And that consciousness is that which you are. It's that which you are. So I hope you can go about your day, be aware of the breath, and use concentration to bring about awareness. So we use attention on something to bring about a global awareness. And then there will be no competition, there will be no anger, there will be no upset. These things you're adding, you need to stop adding them. So hopefully that helps you to understand the stages that we can be in. We can be in these phases of the mind, but we can also choose of our own volition now to come out of those stages of the mind. We can leave those stages and remember to be kind. Remember to be kindness, okay? Smile, just smile. At anyone and everyone. We can all improve this planet if we're just kind to each other. Each day when you wake up, smile. And imagine how it would be on a Monday morning if you go into your place of work, if you're working or otherwise, wherever you go, smile. And above all else, above everything else, be kind. Kindness isn't just for other people, it's for you. It's your internal state. Being kind feels nice. So why not just decide to do it? Don't put the head down on the Monday morning. When someone says hello, I work with people who won't even say hello. Hello? I work with people who they walk straight past me. This is not kindness. Okay? This is not kindness. We can be kind. If we can all be kind to each other, this is very obvious, isn't it? This is very obvious. If we can be kind, our awareness gives rise to this kindness. Okay? Doing things for each other. Why don't you want to do things for each other? There's no greater thing than to be of service to someone. But I anyway know people and work with people. When I say hello and smile, there's nothing. Nothing. And I feel for that person. I don't feel upset, but I feel compassion, because I know, you don't have this technology, you don't have this teaching, and you don't have this understanding. You have mind, association, maybe some reflection at times, and directed thought, but you are being battered by thought, and I feel for you. So I hope you can implement this awareness of the gaps between the breaths. This is just a trick. It's a technology. It's a technique. That's all it is. And eventually you can throw it away. You won't need it anymore because you'll be there. Once you're there, you don't need that anymore. The breath is always there. But in order to arrive at this place, people say, how can you be calm, joyful, blissed out, and peaceful? Because of my awareness, because of consciousness. That's it, just because of consciousness. I've sufficiently cultivated it, and it's always there, and it allows me to conduct myself with a greater efficacy in my life, in the world, a greater kindness and a greater service to others. If we all do this, where's the war? Where's the conflict? Where's the fractiousness? It isn't there anymore. Where's the greed? We will stop forcing this economic disparity that we have. People can't afford food, but we have billionaires. This won't happen anymore. We can work away from this. We can work away from damaging the planet using plastics and all these things that we do with farming. We can change this. How do we change the world? We change ourselves. We have to change our internal state first. We can't start changing the world with thought, because it will come from ego. It will come from competition. It will come from judgment. I'm right, me, me, me. It has to come from real care, compassion, and kindness. And the only way to get there is awareness, the space between the breaths. Become aware and your life will open like a flower. I can promise you this. I'll be making some more videos because I've been asked to. I receive messages from people saying, thank you for the videos, this helped me in this way, and this is good. This is why we do this. But the only thing we need to do is all keep walking in the same direction. Just keep walking in this direction of kindness, compassion, and move away from the mind. It's time now, in human history, it's time to move away from the mind. Let's all move away from the mind together. So there's one simple trick, and I want you to let me know how you get on. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.